Hey hustlers, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jasmine, aka Jazz Hustles, and I am a 20-year-old Amazon seller. I started selling in the beginning of last year and I'm still going at it. As you guys can tell by this title, for the people who are interested in doing FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon, rather than doing FBM, basically I'm going to be letting you know how to transition from FBM to FBA. There's many reasons why I personally do FBA and I just start off with FBA, but I know a lot of you guys who are interested in FBA but are currently doing FBM. So if you're on that same boat, make sure to watch this video to the end. Make sure to like it up, subscribe down below, and let's get straight to this video. Now for the people who are new to this space, I'm going to briefly explain FBM and FBA. So FBM is basically fulfillment by merchant. You, the seller, are going to ship to the customer. You're going to deal with all the customer service. You're going to prep, fulfill all of the orders. FBA is fulfillment by Amazon. I would be sending all of my products to Amazon, let them store the products in their warehouse, and they send out to the customers. They deal with the customer service. They deal with the prepping, the packing, fulfilling, and then also the customer service in the back ends, and as well as returns and stuff like that. Of course, with FBA, there are a little more fees because you're really getting Amazon to do most of the work. If you're an FBA seller, you're really just looking for products to resell from Walmart, Target, Kohl's, Nike outlets, Adidas outlets. You are buying it, you're going to put your little FNSKU label, and then you're sending everything out to Amazon all in one go. With FBM, you're doing the opposite. You're literally hands-on in the whole business. Now, the reason why I chose to do just straight FBA was just because I want to make a good amount of money passively, where it's like I don't have to always fulfill orders myself. So let's say, for instance, someone places an order for this LED light, right? I have to make sure to send it out either using any carrier is fine, but you have to make sure to send it out within a given day. So it's like anytime you get an order, you got to send it out and you have to spend time prepping and shipping it out to that customer. Now, let's say, for instance, you want to make so much money passively. There's not really a way to do that with FBM. Like, you can, but it's just way more work, unless of course you have someone else prep and send to the customer for you. Of course, you would be making a little more profit per unit when it comes to FBM because you're not having Amazon do all the work, because, you know, those fees are crazy. But the thing that we do as FBA sellers, we make sure to input our fees and calculate our fees when we are using, you know, the seller amp app to make sure that this product is profitable and it's good to sell. Now, if you guys don't know exactly how to figure out if a product is good to sell, make sure to go to my tutorials on my YouTube channels. I have a lot of those, online sourcing and retail arbitrage. But basically, of course, you can do online and retail. You can do it FBM or you can do it FBA. One thing for sure is that you can do FBA and FBM. Personally, me, like I said, I just decided to do FBA because I wanted to scale quicker. Let's say, for instance, my goal for my first month is to have at least 100 orders. I would have to ship out 100 different packages to 100 different customers. Now, that's just too much. I personally would rather work on, you know, outside of the business rather than inside of the business. Like, that prepping does not make me any money. I'm eventually going to outsource me sourcing products because right now I still source my own products. So I will eventually get a VA, which is a virtual assistant, where you will just pay someone to find products for you, and then you can also calculate that, like their pay, in your seller amp settings under like miscellaneous fee or something like that. But eventually I want to outsource everything, so then everything is literally actually passive, because at the end of the day, if you are doing FBA still, it's not as passive because you still have to you know, go out to the stores and send to Amazon. But I want to be hands off in the business, so that's what I'm looking into. But with FBM, that's a whole different ball game. So with FBM, it's like FBM is a good starter for people who do not have that much to start up, I guess you would say, because you aren't really risking much. Let's say, for instance, I buy a water bottle and I FBM it and it did not sell. I can literally return it before the 30 days or the 90 days is up, return policy from whoever store, because you're literally going to store every single product that you have in your house and wherever you are. So you have to make sure to keep in mind that you have to store your inventory. So you need a space for that, you know, storage unit or just a room or a closet, whatever. But it may get messy, especially if you're trying to make a lot of money, because for this business, it's literally a volumes game. You have to make sure you're sending out multiple units, and, you know, you're getting that profit for each unit. So of course, like I said, FBM, you do make more in profit wise, but it's way more work than FBA. Now you can do FBA, make a little less profit, but you can actually deal with the volume because you're really not doing that much work. So it's like you have more time to source and just send to Amazon. And let's say, for instance, you do not get any units sold from FBA products. That's perfectly fine, but you may not be able to return it within a given time. Like let's say Walmart has a 90-day or 30-day return policy. Most likely you're gonna have to wait a little longer if you are getting your product sent back from Amazon. You would have to create a removal order, and then of course they are taking fees out for that. It's usually around $2 to $3 per unit, so you have to keep that in mind. So with FBM, it is cool, I guess, as a beginner. Personally, me, I just did straight FBA, but FBM, if you don't have that much to start up and you don't want to include all these Amazon fees and just do everything yourself, that's perfectly fine, but it's probably best not to do FBM in the long term. And like I said, again, you can literally do FBA and FBM. Let's say, for instance, you just want to do FBM on oversized items or multiple items or seasonal items. That's fine because there is a little more risk to all of those units. But with FBA, I feel like it's the best just because it's more hands off, it's more scalable, and more passive. So let's say, for instance, you are just an FBM seller and you're getting ready to get into FBA and you don't really know exactly how to ship out to Amazon, what warehouse to ship out to. Of course, I have all the FBA videos down in my channel, but basically it's a super simple process. Now, let's say, for instance, you find a product and you want to FBA the item, your first FBA, you've been doing FBM the whole time. The same steps as in adding a product to your inventory is the same steps as adding a product into your inventory that is FBA. So when you add the product into your inventory, it's going to ask for your fulfillment channel, FBA or FBM. And if you guys haven't seen, if you choose FBA, it's not going to ask for the quantity because you don't have to input your quantity when you are doing FBA. You do that when you're getting ready to actually send out the whole shipment to Amazon. So you don't have to put the quantity in yet, and just keep in mind how FBM is. Like right when you add it into your inventory, you're not going to automatically be added for added onto the listing as FBA. They are going to add you onto the listing when Amazon gets your units. Now, sometimes they will add you onto the listing a little before just because they know that you're sending out units. So what I recommend you guys do is to watch my how to ship to Amazon tutorial, because that's basically going to show you all the steps on the whole shipping process when it comes to fulfillment by Amazon. One thing that you want to keep in mind, since FBM is a little different than FBA, FBM, you don't ever have to print out SKU labels, like the little item labels, but for FBA you do. And I recommend you do that for all products. Even if the ones that, like, let's say, for instance, say you are able to use the manufacturer barcode, do not use the manufacturer barcode. That's how they lose your items and they can get it mixed up with other sellers. Because remember, fulfillment by Amazon is filled with a whole lot of other sellers in the warehouse. Now, when you are getting ready to ship out, you can't just ship it out to any warehouse. You have to ship it out to the warehouse it says to send it to. So you can't just drop it off you can't drop your units off at a warehouse near you, because sometimes not every warehouse is accepting FBA units, or some are just filled and stuff like that. So once you add your FBA product into your inventory, of course, it's never going to add automatically. It's probably going to take like 3 to 5 minutes to add into your inventory. And what you want to do is check off on your manage all inventory, check off all the products that you're ready to ship out to Amazon. You're going to check them all off and you're going to press send replenish inventory. Now, like I said, go to the tutorial because I'm not going to go through the whole thing on how to ship out to Amazon. But a lot of FBM sellers ask me that. How does the process work of shipping out to Amazon, since they're so used to just shipping out to customers? So when Amazon gets your units, they are going to finally add you on the listing. Now, let's say, for instance, you sent in 10 units and they only received 5 units. Now we're going to have to open up an investigation. This is where it gets a little tricky, especially for FBM sellers that have never had this problem. So let's say, for instance, they only received half of your inventory and they said that you never shipped out the 5. What you want to do is open an investigation by calling support. You can go to the right corner of your Seller Central, click help, and open up a case. And basically you're just going to let them know there's going to be a button that's like lost inventory, reimbursements and stuff like that, because you want to try and get reimbursed for those units, especially if they never found it. So what you're going to do is provide your proof of purchase. So let's say, for instance, I had 10 water bottles and I have a receipt for my 10 water bottles. You have to make sure to give that proof of purchase to them. So you can take a picture of your receipt. You can use store receipts. You can use online confirmation. It just has to be a proof of purchase. It doesn't have to be an invoice. Remember, when you are ungating, of course it has to be an invoice, but everything else, when it comes to trying to get reimbursed or trying to investigate where the units are at, then any proof of purchase would do. So you are going to want to provide that to them. it's probably best you get on the phone with someone just so they can go through it with you. But that's basically the steps on if they lose your inventory. Now, there's a few more things I would say. Probably you cannot sell hazmat, dangerous goods, multiple items with FBA unless you are registered to become a hazmat or dangerous goods seller. So let's say, for instance, batteries or lighters, stuff that catches on fire quickly, you can't just send it out to FBA. You have to be approved for that program. And then for the multiple, there's a certain cutoff date that you can actually send multiple items. But I personally prefer you do not send any multiple items. I think around Q4 to Q1, that's where they have the dates so you can send multiple items to FBA. But like I said, I usually tend to steer away from those type of items. Now, since we are accounting for a whole lot of fees, we have to make sure that we're inputting that in our SellerAmp software. Now, for FBM, if you're just an FBM seller, all you would have to put in is your shipping cost, and it'll calculate everything else, so your FBM cost. But what you're gonna wanna do is toggle FBA on, and you're gonna wanna make sure all your fees are accounted for. So on your SellerAmp settings, you're going to go to the little tool icon on the bottom right of SellerAmp, and then you're going to input your inbound shipping. So you have to make sure to calculate your inbound shipping. If not, there's like, you're literally going to think that you're making a certain amount of profit when in reality you're going to be making less. We the sellers have to pay for shipping to Amazon. You can't get Amazon to pay. It's not like FBM. You can't get the customer to pay. You have to pay it yourself. That's it. There's no way around it. So it ranges all the time. Usually I would say it goes around $1 to $1.60 per pound. And of course you have to include the new placement fee, but SellerAmp has you on that part. They have that new placement fee already calculated for you guys. So you really don't have to worry about inputting your placement fee with your inbound shipping fee. So for your inbound placement fee, I have on my SellerAmp settings, minimal shipment splits. And then on my inbound shipping, I just have $1.60 per pound. So usually it's around there, $1.25, $1, but I like aiming higher just in case. So then I don't accidentally, buy a product that is actually not going to be profitable for me, because you really never know what it's going to be around, but that's estimately about that much. Now, when it comes to shipping to Amazon, you want to make sure to ship out many things in one go. You want to make sure that, of course, each box has to be under 50 pounds and each box has to be under 25 by 25 inches for FBA. But you want to make sure that whole shipment weighs a lot, because let's say, for instance, you're just shipping out one small box that weighs like 5 pounds. They're going to charge you probably like $5, $6, $7 per pound for shipping. Now that is outrageous. Usually, like I say, guys, it goes for around $1 to $1.60. Now, if you calculate the shipping, here's how you do it. So at the end of the whole shipment process, for sending out to Amazon, they're going to let you know how much it costs, and then you're going to take the total shipment pounds. So let's say you have one 5-pound box and one 7-pound box. That's going to be a total shipment pounds of 12 pounds. And let's say, for instance, they're charging you like, I don't know, $40. You're going to do the cost of your whole shipment, so that's including the placement fee, 40 divided by 12, so you'll be charged $3.33 per pound. And if you knew that you had on your SellerAmp settings $1.60 per pound, that's going to mess up your profit margin deeply. So make sure to ship out a large amount of units. Just use that number, for example, 1 to 160, right? In that range, I guess, from one, because sometimes my shipments would, once in a while, it'll be like 165. So if you're being charged way more than what you thought you would be charged per pound for shipping, and that was in your SellerAmp settings, just hold it off and find more products that you can ship out in that one shipment, because it's best to have way more units shipped out to Amazon rather than a small shipment. So just make sure to keep that in mind. It is a little different because, FBM, you're literally shipping out like one thing in one little box and one little bag. It's different with that, but also one thing for sure, that for FBA, when you are being charged for the shipping, you can use the UPS Amazon partnered carrier. So the rates are a little cheaper rather than any other carriers. And once you clicked confirm shipping and pay for shipping on that page, on that last page, it's going to take it out of your account balance, not the card that they have on file for you, which I prefer. I also want to mention, If you are under the individual account for your Seller Central plan instead of the professional account, you know how to charge $1 per unit. You have to make sure to add that into your Seller Amp setting, because I know a lot of people do not do that. Personally, me, I don't have to do that because I have the professional account. I'm just being charged $40 a month, $30.99 a month for the selling plan. But for you, you have to make sure that you are inputting the 99 cents per unit into your either miscellaneous fee on your Seller Amp settings, so then you can really calculate accurately how much profit you're going to be making. So with FBA, you really do not have to deal with any shipping templates or anything like that, anything confusing, because all you're doing is shipping out to Amazon and you're straight up paying for the shipping. So you don't really have to worry about it with that. That's another main thing about me. I didn't do FBM because also the shipping was a little confusing to me. And eventually I'm going to just learn it just so that I can also because a lot of people ask me FBM questions and I'm just like, I don't do FBM, but I do know about it and I know how it works. It's just, I'd rather prefer, like I said, the more passive way, the more scalable way of just doing straight FBA. So with FBA, you want to make sure to have bigger boxes all the time. You never see me ship out smaller boxes. I'm always shipping out larger boxes because, like I said again, you want to make sure your shipment is a good amount of pounds. I'm not going to give you an exact amount because it really just depends on the weight and how much units is in it. But just do the calculations that I just did for you guys and make sure that's around the 165 range per pound. Now, let's say, for instance, a customer wants to return a product that you sent out FBA. So Amazon, like I said, is going to deal with all of that. So they are going to initiate the refund to the customer once the customer returns, right? So once Amazon gets the product back from the customer, if they see that the product is perfectly fine, they're going to just put it right back in your inventory so that it can be sold again. Now, let's say, for instance, the customer damaged the product. Let's say, for instance, I actually have an example. So here I have an example of some customer damaged products that I had to get sent back to me. So usually what you want to do when it is customer damage, they are going to put it in your unfulfillable inventory on your inventory page on the top. So you want to make sure to get it sent back to you. If you really don't care about it and you just want to dispose of it, you can get Amazon to dispose of it, but it's a few cents per unit. So of course they're going to charge a little less than creating the actual removal order and getting it sent back to you. Remember, it's like $2 to $3 per unit, but for disposal, you can do that. You can just get rid of it. But I wanted to make sure that they were actually customer damage, because sometimes they will claim stuff as customer damage when in reality, it was perfectly perfect. Like one shoe that I sent out, it was not, they claimed that's customer damage, but the customer reasoning for the return was just because it was too big. And I was like, why, how is it customer damage if they said it was just too big? So I got it sent back to me and there was literally just a really small hole in the box. It wasn't even that noticeable. So I sent it right back and it sold. So sometimes they are going to mess up, but these, yeah, they are pretty much customer damage. As you can tell, everything is just ripped open. It's not good. And I got a lot of JBLs back, and that's probably the reasoning why. Usually when people open things, they open it like they're about to just throw out the packaging and just use it. But I guess they did not want the JBLs anymore for some odd reason. But let's say, for instance, you get products sent like this. You can do whatever you want with it. You can either toss it out yourself, try and sell it on OfferUp, keep them for yourself, give them to a family or friend member. Just take the loss on it. These only cost me like $6 from Ross. You can see like that. Or you can try and sell them on eBay, but they really don't go for that much. So yeah, and then this didn't even come with the plastic. It just came like this. I hate people sometimes. But at least these weren't as expensive. If they were like $30 per, I would have been like pissed. So that's literally business. So that's that customer damage. Now let's say, for instance, you ship out a product like, let's say, some Nike sweatpants, and the customer returns, and then once Amazon receives it, they see that it's like some cheap used Walmart junk, like some Walmart shorts or sweatpants. Then you really can't really do much in that case. You're going to have to get it sent back to you because it's literally going to say customer damaged or defective under Amazon seller. You get it sent back to you. You see what's the problem with it, and if you see that if it's like some used junk, you probably have to take the loss on that. You can try contacting seller support and seeing if you can get reimbursed for that or something like that, but they automatically give the return to their customers, especially if it's FBA Prime. They are like, I don't know, they just love their customers so much, and it's just like they won't do much penalties. That's the only thing. Like with FBM, if someone does that with FBM, you're automatically going to know. Because let's say, for instance, you send out Nike leggings FBM to a customer and they want to return it and they send it right back to you, and you see it's not the Nike leggings, it's like some Walmart old junk. Amazon seller can most likely reimburse you for that, or they can not, or you can just not give the refund back to the customer because literally they did not send you what you originally sent. So that's the only good thing I feel like about that, but that doesn't tend to happen a lot. I haven't had that happen to me. I don't think. I've just had like actually damaged products like this that cannot be sold. But that did happen to my boyfriend once. He sent out some, I think it was Nike or Under Armour, sweatpants, and he got like a random hat. A random hat. It was not even Nike or Under Armour. So I'm just like, yo, but this is business. It really hasn't happened to me, but I'm gonna knock on wood because I don't want that to happen to me. With FBA, you have a better chance of winning the buy box as well because you have the Prime option, and the customers want that Prime. A lot of people who shop on Amazon do not want to pay for shipping, or they usually wouldn't click on a seller who does not have that Prime badge. So you can try and become an FBM seller with the Prime badge called Seller Fulfilled Prime, but there's a lot of metrics that you have to go through and a lot of restrictions that you have to make sure you have in line, so then you can become that. But it's not ideal, just because, you know, all the restrictions when it comes to that. You might as well just do FBA. But yeah, so there's FBM, Seller Fulfilled Prime, which is FBM but with Prime, and then FBA. So FBA can compete with Seller Fulfilled Prime, but like with FBM and FBA, it's really no competition. That's why when you are on a listing, you see most FBA sellers put their price higher rather than FBM, just because most customers will purchase from a Prime seller. So that's pretty much it when it comes to that. I don't think I left anything behind. If I did, I'll probably make a part 2. And if you guys can leave any questions down below, I'll probably answer it in another video. But if you have any questions, anything at all, especially if it's strictly FBA questions, then I will get to you either in another video or a reply to your comment. I don't really do FBM as much, so I don't know every single answer to every FBM question, but you can try and ask, and I will try and see if I can let you know of that. Yeah, so that's pretty much it with this video. If this video helped you out, make sure to like it up, subscribe down below, and then also make sure to follow my Instagram and my TikTok where I post on those every single day, and also follow my vlog channel. I know I haven't been posting my vlog channel. I've just been really busy with everything in life, my business, my new course that I'm coming out with. It's been really busy, so I'm going to try and get a vlog up there on that channel. Make sure to subscribe to that channel because once I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to do an ebook giveaway for every video that I post on that vlog channel. So I'm really trying to do a lot of everything, so that's why I'm getting a little like low-key like burnt out, but I'm still getting content for you guys, and I'm going to be focusing on a whole lot of things, wholesale, everything like that, wholesale, my new course, you guys, my subscribers, my followers, and stuff like that. So I appreciate all of you guys that support me and follow me, and I am so glad that I am on this journey with you guys. I love documenting my journey, and I recommend a whole lot of others document their journey as well. Yeah, just want to remind you guys that I am coming out with a course at the end of April. It's probably going to be the best course out there. It's not your typical course. It's going to be a course / coaching program. You're going to have a coach with you along the way, as well as all the course videos, and it's not just going to be like surface level type things. It's literally going to get down into the nitty gritty. Now, what's the difference from my ebook to the course? A lot of people were asking me that. My ebook basically is a beginner friendly guide. Everything that you need to know when it comes to reselling on Amazon and being profitable, how to find out if products are good to resell, how to send to Amazon and stuff like that, all step by step. I know there is a lot of YouTube videos that I come out with that has a lot of content that's on my ebook. If you want more of a step-by-step guide rather than going from video to video and writing notes down, that's why I have my ebooks. With the course, it's more down into the nitty-gritty when it comes to how to do your taxes, all the back ends of it. I'm adding that bonus module soon. I'm gonna just show you a little bit of what the Hustlers Academy consists of, and that's what it's called, the Hustlers Academy. Love it. So there's a total of 13 modules, and there's going to be a bonus module at the end that doesn't really have anything to do about Amazon, but it's basically going to be talking about content creation and how to become an Amazon influencer and affiliate and stuff like that. Basically all what I do. And then also module 13 will actually be a little bonus wholesale module. So a lot of people have been asking me how I am getting into wholesale, how to find distributors and stuff like that. So I'm going to be including all of that for you guys. I just want this course to be the best. Of course, I talk about the business models. I also have a module of creating and forming an LLC, setting up your EIN, applying for a reseller's permit, all of those things that a lot of people do not talk about online because it's just the boring stuff. And the best credit cards to use, using a PO box or a registered agent, to set up your printer. What I've done in this course is everything that everyone has told me throughout the whole year of me teaching. All the frequently asked questions that I get is I'm putting in this module. A lot of people ask me, you know, I have problems with my printer. How do you really connect it? So I have that as well. Ungating, you know, of course, auto ungates. I have an auto ungate list, how to get ungated with actually Amazon directly, because you can do that. All the softwares I use and how to use them. I also have a BQL tutorial. A lot of people were asking me for a repricing tutorial. It's going to be on in my course. I have a whole lot of retail arbitrage live sourcing videos. So I actually just shot them yesterday. I went to the outlets. I went to Walmart, Ross, Five Below, BJ's, Dollar Tree. I went to all of those stores. Most of these things in the course, so it's more exclusive. I spent a lot of time on this course, so I really hope it does well. And I have, you know, certain things, retail arbitrage module, and online arbitrage module of how to source. I have a module of maximizing profits and utilizing gift cards, newsletters to sign up with, shipping and inventory, every little aspect, like in the back end of it, like, you know, little Amazon messages that you get here and there, like SKU error or not featured to win the buy box. All of this stuff like is going to be added. I'm also going to do a bonus video on a prep center that I am going to be telling you guys about, pricing error messages. I also have a module on account health and discrepancies, so literally how to beat intellectual property complaints, how to open up cases, how to get reimbursed for discrepancies, stuff like that. But yeah, there's literally gonna be so much information that it might seem overwhelming, to be honest, but it's literally everything that you need to know. So I just want to talk about it a little bit more because a lot of people were asking me questions about this course/coaching program. So the coach for this course is not going to be me. Of course, it is going to be a little more if you want me to be your actual mentor, but I don't really want to promote the mentorship because I am trying to spend more time on my actual Amazon business. And ever since I came out with my mentorship program, I haven't really had much time to really focus on my business. I still do my business, but it's like it feels like I'm prioritizing a lot of other people's businesses. So that's why I'm stepping a little bit away when it comes to an actual mentorship. But I am coming out with this course because a lot of people were asking for my mentorship, and I'm just like, I can't. I'm just one person, so that's why I have to, you know, now I have to have a team. But my team right now is just one person right now. So basically, my boyfriend Javon is going to be the coach as of now for the course. He has learned everything. I taught him from A to Z when it comes to everything. He has been through everything that you can even think of. It seems like he's been sourcing and he's been reselling on Amazon for a whole year just like me, but he is just a quick learner. So you're gonna have access to the course lifetime, of course, and you're always gonna have access to my Discord, Exclusive Hustlers Discord. So basically I do group Zoom calls there every single Friday. Now, if you're not interested in purchasing the course, I'm not really too sure on the price point yet, but eventually you guys will know about it. I will make another video on it. If you're not interested in any of that and you just want to be added to my Discord, I'm going to leave the link in my description. We do group Zoom calls. You can network with many other sellers and it's only $55 a month. Back to the course, you'll be able to have unlimited 15-minute calls with the coach. It's going to be one call per person per day. That's how we're going to try it out. We're still like thinking about the whole process on how that's going to work, because of course there's going to be people that's literally going to book every time slot, and that's not going to be happening. So we're going to try that out, and I'm just letting you guys know that for now. Then we probably just do like group Zoom calls every so often. You'll be able to book calls with him, anything that you may need, and you'll also have his personal number. Now, like I said, if you want me to be your mentor, you would have to, you know, inquire about that, but I don't really want to push the mentorship out. Of course, my mentorship would also include the course, but it would just be a little different because instead of Javon being your mentor, it would be me. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing. And I understand if you guys want more one-on-ones instead of group Zoom calls, but let's say if it gets too wild, then of course we're gonna have to resort to the group Zoom calls. First, there's gonna be monthly payments. I'm still not too sure on the price point. I'm gonna try and finish this by the end of this month. Hopefully it's out by the end of this month. Stay tuned if you are interested in any of that. If you're not interested, I definitely understand you. That's perfectly fine. I don't want to, you know, push my course out to you if you're not that interested. You can learn with my YouTube videos and stuff like that, but this is just a more in detail program that would be beneficial for you guys. So if you're not interested, I totally understand. Literally, I so understand. But yeah. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you learned anything new in this video, make sure to like it up, like I said, and subscribe down below. And if you got to the end of this video, comment the word hustle down below so I know you're serious about this business. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. I better find your heart. I bet if I give all my love, then nothing's gonna tear us apart.